What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Steelers Knee-Jerk Reaction. For those of you that don't know, this is where I react to the game. Immediate reaction to the game before I'm able to rewatch the game. But first, let me make sure my levels are okay, guys. Just checking my microphone. Yep, we're good there. Hope everybody is good out there. For guys and gals that may be new, no, this is not a call-in show. This is just my, let me take that off the screen, actually. I don't want to confuse anybody until Thursday. We'll talk about that later. Tuesday. But what's happening, everybody? I hope you guys have had an opportunity to review the title of this video. I'm going to get into that. But first, I'm going to say hello to the early commenters. Steelberg, he's out on Justin Fields. All of the above. Sonny Rothmiller, the master of music. Malvo does it. Real facts. Who else? CT Pittman, Leonard Green, Vistalite, Artist Hans, Brian Williams, Rajon 39, Marlon Nicholson. Who else? My man Y Diggy in the building. Hello, the lovely Lanisha is in the building. Make sure you guys lay out the red carpet for our ladies. Who else is in here? Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? Who is that? MT Legendary. Cut Boy. Leonard Langley in the building. Ollie Howard. My good brother Tony in the building. And I'm pretty sure Kenyon will pop in here at some moment as well. Steeler Cards in the building. Mark Malone, he says, woo, win. And Donovan Hubbard. Jaywalk, Wave Day. What up, Wave Day? Sneaky 25. All right, so let's get into it. Elisa Shepard. Hello, Elisa. Again, I think that's another one of our lovely lady listeners, man. Hello, Miss Lady. Everybody take time out to say hello to our beautiful ladies. Be kind to them. There go my boy Kenyon in the building. David Jones Jr. Let me get to it, man. Let me stop yapping and get to the action. So y'all know the routine. Y'all know what I typically do. I'm going to talk about the first series, both offensively and defensively. I have condensed the way I write notes now, so it's not so lengthy. I just kind of give the highlights. We'll talk about that. I'll point out penalties, which was a ton of them. And I'll point out who may have gotten injured, at least the ones that I was able to recall or recant myself. And then we'll just talk about, the recap of the offense, defense, key takeaways, and then that's it. We'll be up out of here. First and foremost, let's talk about the opening defensive series. So the Steelers did kick off the ball. The Steelers could have gotten off the field with a Dante Jackson interception. You guys remember that? Dante Jackson would have had an interception. Remember early, that first series, right in his hands. And I guess that's the reason why they say some of those guys are DBs instead of receivers. We could have gotten off the field right there, but the Falcons were able to convert a 3rd and 6 on the very next play. It was a second down that we could have gotten an interception. Kirk Cousins had no business throwing the ball. But anyway, they converted a 3rd and 6. Falcons were able to run the ball very well in the first drive. Steelers were then faced with the 3rd and goal. Peyton Wilson makes the tackle to end the drive. So shout outs to Peyton Wilson. He's already getting on the field. We saw him quite a bit today. Cannot wait to review the film so I can really look and see what these guys were able to do individually and look from a coach's view. But we saw Peyton Wilson early on that drive. But then the Falcons were able to end the drive with the field goal. At that point, 3-0. At that point, I literally, because I didn't come down into the man cave to watch it. Stayed upstairs in the living room, fortunate enough to have a nice size TV there as well. So I said, okay, babe, I'll sit up here and watch the TV with you. So at that moment, I turned and looked at her and I said, wow, a bend but don't break type of approach with our Steelers defense on that first series. And I was hoping that wasn't going to continue to be the case. Offensively, Fields and Frazier. Fumble and snap, very first series. Fields also missed Van Jefferson on a 2nd and 7. I thought at that moment he could have ran the ball, but again, I can't wait to see the coach's film so I could really see if, these knee-jerk reactions are warranted or not. but I thought he could have ran the football. But either way, he missed. Van Jefferson tried to kind of throw it on the run. Steelers were then faced with the 3rd and 7, and Fields takes a timeout. I did not like that. We're taking a timeout on the first series, and I guess communication wasn't quite there. I understand, Fields is the NFL quarterback, yes, but I'll give a little bit of grace in this regard, saying he wasn't necessarily set to be the starter, but I still think he should have been prepared, and you shouldn't have that. You cannot be calling a timeout on the first drive of the game. But then the Fields was able to pick up, with his legs. He was able to get the first down with his legs. But then after that, if I remember correctly, the Steelers were able to go down and get a long field goal, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say we tied it up on that series, but for whatever reason, I don't have that noted. So I probably was so involved in the game, I missed that point. But I believe that was the first of Chris Boswell's 50-plus yard field goals. I think that might have been the 57-yard field goals, that one. Because, like I said, we didn't really drive far, but we got into the range of Boswell, and the Steelers were able to get on the board there. So let's just talk about. Let me talk about the defensive recap first, because I really want to save what I have to say for the offense. Couple quick things that I have here, man. Deshaun Elliott, shout outs to him. Got an interception on Kirk Cousins that was on the second drive. Great pressure by the front end, but Larry Ogunjobi, specifically got great pressure, and Kirk Cousins throws us a nice Christmas present early. Dante Jackson and Deshaun Elliott, I thought played well, early on in the game. And this, again, I'm reading this to you as I notated. I thought those guys were playing relatively well. They were showing up. You were seeing them in right spots. Deshaun Elliott made a couple, little plays here and there that you can look back at and say, okay, good to see him show up there. I think it was a bad offensive, not offensive, but I thought it was a bad offsides call on TJ Watt. I did not think that TJ Watt was offsides on that play that they called. He was pissed off. Everybody was pissed off. But if you look at it from the naked eye, it didn't look like he jumped early. It looked like he just got a good jump. But then when they slowed it down, it looks like TJ was literally looking down the right of the line, right? And as soon as the center bopped his head up, he took off. I think they was calling that very tic-tac. But it is what it is. What you're going to do. Just like, guys, if you watch the Thursday night game, the Chiefs and the Ravens, and I'm glad to see that the Ravens lost and we won, because that, already putting us in somewhat position, at least in the division race, especially with them losing to a conference opponent, an AFC opponent. But you saw in that game, man, I thought that the way they're going to be calling, illegal formation and all of that with guys being off the line, they were really calling it tight in that game. So I was interested to see how calls would be in our game and the rest of the games today and tomorrow. It looks like the refs, man, are just, I don't know. It's going to be ticky-tack, it seems like. Because, again, TJ Watt, to me, was not offsides. And I'm not being biased there. But what it did do would have been a sack fumble. So that was taken off the board. And then on that very, very same drive, Kyle Pitts wide open in the back of the end zone. That's the second quarter for a touchdown for what I have here. Now, I definitely can't wait to see the coach's film so I can see what was going on there. When they showed the replay from the TV film, you saw Beanie Bishop kind of playing up close, kind of mid, between, Cousins and Pitts. He wasn't playing deep. He was kind of playing that intermediate area, and him being the nickel. So I need to go back and watch that play. I need to see what the formation was. I do not recall what the Falcons were in. Again, guys, this is why I call this the knee-jerk reaction show. Because when you're watching it on TV tape, I can honestly tell you, I can't go back and say, oh, they were in this. Oh, they were trips here, unless it stood out. I wasn't watching it at the time. At that particular play, I was looking at the front end because I was like, hopefully we can get some pressure down here, hold them to a field goal. So I was looking at the pass rush, so I definitely didn't see, what was going on in the back end. So hopefully I get a chance, when I get the chance to get the all 22. I'll see that. But it was terrible, man, because like I said, TJ Watt, he had strip sacked him. That would have been a null and void point right there. It would have been mute. They would not have scored a touchdown in that moment. But it is what it is. Also, I just wrote here that largely, man, defensively, and I'll get to this here in a moment too as I go to the offense. I just think defensively, the guys showed up. You may have been concerned early on in the game like I was. I felt like they was running the ball a little too easily. I didn't like the easiness as, how easy it was for them to go downfield on that first drive. And again, it was more of the bend but don't break. But I definitely feel like our defense got going later on in the game. We were definitely getting a lot of hits on Kirk Cousins. I can't wait to see when those numbers come out as far as pressures and hits. We was getting to Kirk Cousins a lot. And there was a lot of penalties that we had that took turnovers and sacks off the board. But that boy was getting touched. He was getting touched. And I'll give a shout out too, and I don't know if he's here yet or if he'll see it later. Shout outs to Victory Asher. I think he was the one who called on Tuesday and said, hey, we're going to kill that offensive line. We did for the most part in passing downs. But like I said early on, I felt like they was running the ball a bit on us. I don't know what the final numbers were. I don't have it right here in front of me. Let me take a look. Well, I'll do that here later in the show. But largely, man, I want to give credit and shout outs to guys again like Dante Jackson played well, man. Peyton Willis, there I go. Peyton Wilson showed up a few times. Adams, Mont Adams showed up. Him and Cam Hayward was stout, with the pass rush as well. Larry Ogunjobi showed up at times. I saw a couple times where Keanu Benton was right there, but again, I can't wait to watch the film so I could really see what these guys did. But I just think largely, man, the defense showed up in spots. Alex Highsmith batting the ball down when they were backed up in the end zone, which could have been a screenplay. And even though they were running the screenplay on us kind of often, we didn't really let anything pop. I don't feel like the Steelers gave up too much in terms of explosive plays. So I think the defense played very well. And again, this is what I tell you guys each and every week, man. A good NFL defense, if you hold an NFL team under 20 points, you had a good outing. All right? You had a great outing. So there you have it, man. For the most part, I feel like the corners must have played pretty well because I think some of those sacks that we were getting off as well was like coverage sacks or Kirk Cousins forcing the ball into a spot. Like even later on in the fourth quarter when he tried to throw it to Ray McCloud, because Ray had got a few catches against us, but even that one where both KZ and Minka were both right there, tight. We were playing really tight coverage, and I really like what I saw to the defense, man. Now, offensively, let's talk about that. Really did not like overall the approach, but I'm going to explain that in a moment. But let's just talk about offensively. A couple things that I notated. Fields bobbles the snap again when he was running a pitch play to Najee Harris. Steelers end the drive by running the ball. A 3rd and 6 to Cordell Patterson. I don't understand why we did that. And again, maybe, I even heard the commentator say, sorry guys, my head is itching. I heard the commentator say, maybe they're going to go for it on 4th down. Maybe that's why they ran the ball, but we didn't. And that ended up being the 57-yard field goal by Chris Boswell. I do not understand why we would run the football with Cordell Patterson on 3rd and 6. Again, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Cordell Patterson. It's just I have to frame it right for everybody. I don't understand the play call of just handing it off at that spot of the field on 3rd and 6, when at that time we hadn't really started getting the run going. And we do it with Cordell Patterson. I don't understand that. But anyway, they must have had faith in Boswell, man. And I think I wrote that as one of my keys as well. Takeaways. The Steelers act like they're going to have big-time faith in Chris Boswell. Because this man kicked 3 field goals. from beyond 50 yards. A couple of them was from beyond 55 yards. Steelers offense has no rhythm, man, on the first 2 drives. And that was what I wrote at that point. But you could almost say that for most of the game. They didn't really start getting some promising things going until the fourth quarter. Penalty kills the drive in the second quarter. It was the one when George Pickens was called for the, push off. Yeah, you can't really be mad at that, guys. Like I said, if the refs are going to start calling things tighter, as long as they're consistent, even if we don't agree, as long as they are consistent week after week and we kind of, as a team, they can study and see what's being called, then okay. But yeah, receivers have been getting away with that for a long time. But in all honesty, if you look at it and you take your biasness out of it, George Pickens did push off. Now, I'm going to pause for a moment. I always want to involve you guys. What do y'all think about that? Was that PI? Yay or nay? I happen to say it was. If we're talking about the letter of the law, it was PI. It was PI, but I am curious to see what you all have to say about that. Sorry, guys. Keep in mind, Sim. Keep in mind, Sim. What was that? We said keep in mind. About what? Malvo said it was. Wave Dave says no. Why Diggy says no. Darius says yes. Derek Moore says nope. Lanisha says yes. Alex B said it wasn't full extension. Listen, I get it. I get it. Now, let me rephrase what I said. If the letter of the law means full extension, then no. So let me say that. If the letter of the law says that pass interference, like if it's written in the book, means that you extend your arms, then no, that was not pass interference. But if it's written in the book that if you push off for an advantage and it doesn't specify extension, then it was pass interference, in my opinion. I'm more so with Eric McDuffie. He says technically yes, but they need to let that ride. Yeah, I'm cool. Listen, I'm not on any side of the fence, but I'm on more so of the side of Eric McDuffie. That little, let the guys hand fight a bit. That should be part of it. Unless it's egregious from both the offensive player and the defensive player, let them fight it out, man. You know what I mean? But Kenya says by the letter of the law, no. Okay, so if you guys are telling me by the letter of the law, it says extend. Malvo says the letter is extend in any manner and it was a push inside arm. Okay, then I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. If the letter of the law, I don't know the rule book, but if the letter of the law states that it needs to be extended arms, then I am 100% agreeing that that was not pass interference. So we can move on. What else do I have here, guys? Steelers start the second half with the 3-and-out. Did not like that. And Grady Jarrett beats Daniels for the sack. It was bad. Unfortunately, the 3-and-out didn't hurt the Steelers at that time because we were able to get that ball back. But just did not like that, man. With us having that small lead at the time, I think at that time it was 12-10, I believe. And I felt like, okay, I'm feeling comfortable getting the ball back. Hopefully we can go down the field, put up some points to stretch that lead out. So definitely did not like us starting the second half with the 3-and-out. Smith, I noticed I'll put this in my takeaway. So hold on, one more thing. Okay, I think that's all I had. And then now I'm going to go to my takeaways of the game. A couple things that I take away. Hold on, let me move this down so I read the notations properly here. No particular order. These are just a couple things that I was randomly notating. Oh, hold on, guys. My bad. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. It's week 1 for me, too. It's week 1 for me, too. Moving my notes around. Key moments of the game that I thought. The Falcons fumbled on that jet motion and TJ Watt recovered it. I felt like today the ball was going to be in TJ's hand at some point. I mean, the boy had 3 sacks pretty much. One or two of them might have been strip sack. I'm just trying to remember. I know one of them was a strip sack, and they were called back. And then how fitting is it that the stud TJ Watt that he is ends the game in the way that he knows how, by sacking Kirk Cousins and doing the bow. Love it. TJ Watt is still that guy. And I love to see that guy's motor is just something to behold and respect. But it was cool, again, the Falcons having that jet motion fumble, because there was a promising drive right there. And it was after that good punt return that they got. So that kind of had me a little nervous. Key moments, I said the Steelers unable to pick up that 4th and short in the red zone. And in the 4th, would have taken the points. I wrote a question there. I said, let me stop. I'm going to ask y'all. At that moment, remember with the Justin Fields one, right? Where it looks like we weren't ready to go. It looks like it was bad communication. And he, tried to go down. Guy jumps over the top, and he just did not pick up that first down. You guys remember that late in the 4th quarter. My question to you guys, if you were the head coach, would you have taken the points there? And would you have gone with the better play call? And if you would have gone with a better play call, what would you have preferred to see in that situation? And I'm going to do this from time to time on the post game, guys, is get y'all's communication. Let's do some, some dialogue going. So again, that moment when we did not pick up the 4th and short with Justin Fields running that quick sneak, would you have taken the points there given the situation? Would you have gone up 18-10 there if possible, understanding how the game has gone at that duration? Or if you would have done that, would you have preferred a better play call? So let me see what y'all got on that. Wait, somebody said Tomlin needs to be fired? MT legendary. Listen, I'm not even gonna, let me brighten this back up a little bit. Oh, my bad, y'all. I zoom in. I'm not doing that with y'all today. Not after a win. I'm just not. Again, I'm not here to battle who feels what about Mike Tomlin. I really don't care how everybody feels about people personally. That's not what I'm here for. I won't throw that on y'all either. If you ask me, I'll give you my opinion. But none of that matters. I don't understand. Even if that is the feeling, I just don't understand how we do that after a win. It's a crazy time to say that. What y'all got, man? Artist Han says never take the points off the board. Dark Rim says points. Flacco says, yeah, points. He said 7 field goals. In that case, it would have been 7. What else y'all got? Yes, I would have taken the points. Leonard Green says. Eric McDuffie agrees. Lydell Dorsey says, I'm taking that field goal, 8-point lead while defense is playing the pass. Yeah, man. I think I would have done that as well. I definitely think I would have done that as well. But I'm not mad at it, man. Like I said, here's the thing, and this is the thing, this is where I've been mentally as a fan for quite some time. I try not to allow the result to be my opinion. The same reason why you see the title where I said I don't like the offensive scheme, and I'm about to talk about that. We won the game, but I'm still going to say why I don't like the title. Right? And going back to MT Legendary, I'm cool with you sticking to your opinion and saying I just want him fired, and for whatever reason. So I give you that. What I'm saying is I'm not entertaining nobody being fired after a win. I don't care who the coach is, what positional coach, coordinator, head coach. I'm just not talking about firing people after a win. But if you are of the mindset that you just don't want Mike Tomlin, keep that. So I respect that side of it. Same way I'm going to say what I say about the offense, even though we won the game. But even in mine, you see me in quotations I wrote so far. I'm going to explain that. So here we go. Let me see. Did I get through all my takeaways? Hold on, guys. One more second. That was a key moment. Killebrew getting called for holding late in the fourth quarter and Johnston getting hurt. That was a key moment. Boswell, what a job Boswell did to get off at least a decent punt. Steelers got pressure 2 plays later, and Jackson comes up with the game-sealing interception for the most part. It helped to seal the game. So Steelers got out of there with that, but that was definitely a key moment, man, because when you thought it may have been roughing, they called holding, and boy, that could have went bad if Boswell couldn't have gotten off a decent punt. And the Steelers defense showed up again. Like I said, 2 plays later, we're getting the interception. Quick takeaways. Fields holds the ball a little too long at times still. Justin Fields holds the ball a little too long still. Steelers unable to consistently run the ball early in the game. Like I said, fourth quarter, they started going. They started managing, maybe even late third, but definitely in the fourth quarter, you start seeing the potential of offense that could possibly sustain a drive. Offensive play calls are too conservative. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. That's my biggest point. Steelers will rely on Chris Boswell this year, obviously. That's what I took away from this game. Goodness gracious. I mean, I'll take the 6 field goals, but when you kicking them from 50 plus, that means the offense really is not moving the ball, and you're relying heavily on your field goal kicker to do that. Big penalties against the Steelers today. Way too many. Some of them were ticky-tack, but it was still way too many self-inflicted wounds as well that I did not like. Steelers went 3 and out to start the drive in the second half. I already talked about that. And then the next thing I want to talk about that I took away from this game, whether the offense was potent or not, Arthur Smith did go with tempo. We did incorporate up tempo in today's game. So that'll be interesting to take a look at and keep our eyes on going forward. Now, let me tell you why my title is what it is. I do not like the Steelers' offensive scheme so far. Here's the reason why. Number one, look at the result. And again, I'm not being result biased, but we didn't score a touchdown. Y'all realize that? We scored 18 points off of field goals. I don't like that. And the reason why I relate that to the scheme is it clearly showed me today why there wasn't a official, quote fingers, number 2 stud receiver or a number 2 threat. Clearly, I see the reason why. That's not the plan. It looks like Arthur Smith's offense is actually going to be what we saw in Tennessee. But let me explain to you why I don't like it so far, because I felt like there were too many times where we leaned on conservative. The 3rd and 6 running the football. Couple 2nd and 10s running the football, which I get it. You get some yards back, but I'm saying I don't want to see that consistently. I don't want us to continue to be more predictable. I want this offense to have a balance. I want to see an offense finally on the team that I love that you don't know what's coming. And I want to see fluidity. You understand what I mean? The Falcons, even though our defense played well, there were times when we said, oh, their offense is flowing. I want to see us have a first drive like that. Or not even just the first one. But I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. I want us to be able to sustain drives. And I think currently the way the offense is constructed, it's almost like we don't really have a 3rd down play. That's how I kind of feel. Again, I'm not overreacting. It's week 1. But the reason why I can say that is this is how we have felt about Pittsburgh the last several years. With Canada and with Arthur Smith. However, I will say with Arthur Smith, I think you are going to see more utilization of different play types, play calls, play styles, formation. You will. We saw it today. We saw a little bit of the read option. We saw a little bit of quarterback, runs, design runs. We saw some stuff like that. We probably won't have to worry about quarterback sneaks. They're going to do those in key situations. We saw a screen attempt to the halfback. So I want you guys to understand that's why I said so far. Because I see where it could be possibly work out for us, but I don't necessarily like The every now and then we're just going to throw a deep ball to George Pickens. I think we need to incorporate a little more mix of pass plays, maybe in the seams or some pivot routes or some digs, a couple things that give the defenses to be concerned with other than just us running the football in play action. Of course, play action is going to help us this year. I see it. But I'm hoping that we can have more of a mixed bag. And that's why I say so far. So I'm not going to run away with my opinion. And because week one and this offense sucks, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I see a potential pattern, but I also see a potential light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. And a lot of times I like to verbally document this stuff. So when we do shows later on, I can come back and say, man, remember when I said in week one, that's what I was talking about. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I'm not even going to say that the play calls were bad. There were sometimes I didn't agree with what we did on a certain down, but I do think there is potential to get it going. It just scares me because we need to be a team, even though with the good defense, we need to be a team that can put points on the board. I don't think it would be sustainable to do what we did today. I just don't. And that's why I'm saying that. So I want to see us be able to put more points on the board and, not just do the run on first down, run on second down, try to pick up a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Nah, man. And again, you could say this very statement about a lot of teams. You got to get the run game going. That is a true thing. But I want us to be able to have a little more in our tool bag to where, all right, 3rd and 8, we're going to go to this. I saw way too many checkdowns. You know what I mean? And again, knee-jerk reaction. Once I watched the film, there may have been opportunities that maybe Justin Fields missed. Here's again another reason why I said so far, because Russell Wilson is the starter. So we'll see. But that's my thoughts for today. Those are my knee-jerk reactions, man. The offense didn't impress me. It didn't feel fluid until about the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter showed me what maybe we want to do, and what was impressive about that is we were able to move the football even when the Falcons probably at that point knew what we were doing. So that's encouraging. But not scoring any touchdowns and kind of stalling out in the red zone. Yeah, not too encouraging there. But it's week one, guys. Keep that in mind. It is week one. I see some of y'all, again, talking about firing head coaches. I see people dumping on Justin Fields. Let me just talk about Justin Fields really quick, and then I'm going to come to the chat. Listen, man, I'm not too mad with Justin Fields. Like I said, looking at that fourth quarter, Justin Fields does offer us something that Russell won't be able to offer us. Now, I'm not saying that he needs to start over Russell Wilson. I'm just saying if we can by any chance find a way to tame and if we can produce a stable quarterback situation with Fields could be dangerous, guys. Him standing back there offers us so many different things that I don't think a lot of people are understanding. It makes playing man coverage against us more risky. So then guys have to play zone. And if we know they playing zone, now you can design plays that beat the zone. You understand what I'm saying? It's more than just what you're seeing with the naked eye. You got to think about the long game. Zone reads, design QB runs, man coverage being scary because the quarterback will take off and run because guys' backs are turned. I'm not in no way, shape, or form comparing him to Lamar Jackson, but did y'all see what Lamar Jackson was doing against Kansas City? Which it sucks that the Baltimore Ravens have to continue to rely on that because I don't think that lasts forever. But you see how much success he had running the ball with the QB counters and things like that. So I would love for our team to at least have the threat of that. That's what Justin Fields can give you. Give him a more of a chance than just saying, oh, same old Fields. Stop doing that, guys. We've seen in the NFL that quarterbacks go to different teams and they become different type of players. Yes, Justin Fields is raw still. There's still things he has to work on. But I'm telling you right now, I see some potential of this offense being not only exciting, but dynamic because the quarterback can do more things. That is where Arthur Smith's scheme could be different and possibly better than it was in Tennessee, because now you got to factor in this QB. Excuse me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. But we'll see. We'll see. All in all, it was good to get a win. It was good to get a win. That's all I'm saying. But let's get to it. And again, guys, I'll be here for a little while longer. So, if you guys care to donate, make sure you do that before the show is over. If you miss it during the show, there's Cash App, there's PayPal. Have at it if you feel so inclined to do so. Let's see what y'all got in the chat, man. Randy Wagner says, how'd you like to feel with your home stadium being taken over by the Steelers Nation and lose? We dominate Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Amazing win. We definitely do. That was crazy, man. How you pumping up the crowd? How you pumping up the crowd in an away game? Crazy. What else we got in here, man? Oh, Debbie. Oh, man, it's been so long since I've seen Debbie here in the chat. Hey, Debbie, I hope you are doing well, man. I hope all has been well for you. I know you've done some traveling and things like that. I think some of it was work-related, so I'm just glad to see you, and I hope you are well. Definitely miss seeing you and seeing your commentary. But Debbie says, she was talking to Kenyon, and she was speaking to a few of you in the chat. What else y'all got? Derek Moore says, if y'all think Aaron Line is crazy, you should have seen what Fields was behind Chicago. Good point. What else y'all got? Wave Dave says he can see what I was saying. MT Legendary says Mike Tomlin is Deion Sanders of the NFL. He says this MF don't make no adjustment. He sits there looking at the Jumbotron all game. So let me just say this, MT Legendary. I'm not going to comment to you ever again about Mike Tomlin. You know why? And this is how I treat anybody in the chat that speaks in absolutes. It's crazy to me how us sitting in our couches, in our homes, can outright say what a coach is and isn't doing. So, not going to get into that. Won't comment on it. Won't even read the comment. Respect your opinion, but we have to stop doing that as fans because we don't know. We're sitting in home watching TV. We have no idea what these any coach. But I'm just grown to a point, and I guess in my football fan maturity, where I don't criticize coaches the way some of you guys do. Any coach in the NFL, I do not know they're playing. Now, we can say no adjustments are made, and sometimes we can see that. That's subjective. But all that other stuff about they don't do nothing, they just watching it. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm not jumping in those combos. Antoine Hill says, Justin is learning the offense and learning how to play the NFL QB. How can some cats miss that? It's kind of like what I just said, Antoine. Some people are just always going to have a preconceived notion of. I try not to do it, guys. I swear. I went even into this game with an open mind. I try not to. And that's why even with me giving criticism of the offense, I'm still saying so far. Because I think I see the plan that Arthur Smith wants. I'm just not sure I like the approach. Because it is bang or bust. Like, it doesn't feel like we have any room to, maneuver when everything is not perfect. I feel like that. Like, third down plays, we don't really have those. A lot of teams, they have these plays in their pocket, and you see when they pull them out. I'm not feeling that so far from our team. It's kind of like stay on script, and if the script doesn't work, then we're dead in the water. And that's what I mean by what I'm seeing so far. Young Dro says, I've seen from this game to say with conviction that the Steelers will win the Super Bowl. Wow. Hey, shout outs to you if you see that, brother. I don't know how we come to that conclusion with not scoring a touchdown. You might be feeling good about the defense, but again, man, I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are a prolific offense with Kirk Cousins at the helm. And it's week 1, a little early to get too hype about the defense, but I guess I understand the optimism. And if we do it, we all will remember who said it. We'll all remember you said that and give you your props and your credit. CT Pittman says, this is crazy talk from some people. Yeah, man. Leonard Green, yes, I'm surprised Justin didn't get injured by the Bears O-line. Facts. CT says, Sim, wanting to say, miss me with that so bad. Yeah, you know how it goes, man. The Master of Music says, hey, Sim, are you going to watch Hard Knocks? Yeah, I'll watch it. We might gather some information. I'll watch it. Diggy says, Spencer Anderson didn't have a good game. Dan Moore had a pretty good game pre-watching film. Glad JPJ wasn't hurt by the secondary, but the secondary did play good today. And thank you, Diggy, because I didn't point out JPJ did get injured, came back in the game. Really quick, Alex Highsmith jumps off sides on the first series. Van Jefferson, illegal formation in the second. George Pickens called for that PI in the second. TJ Watt called for that offsides in the second, which I didn't agree with. Dante Jackson called for illegal use of hands, killed another sack by TJ Watt. Najee Harris has a false start on third down, illegal shift on a third down. Broderick Jones called for unsportsmanlike in the fourth, which wasn't that bad in my opinion. They might could have let that one go. But then Miles Killebrew also called for holding. So I just wanted to point out at least the ones that I remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 penalties. Got to do a better job with that. Afro Thunder says, hold up, Sim. Some of us play Madden thinking we know more than Chuck know. You know how it go, man. That is a fact. MT, let me see. What did he say? He says, Okay, he says, how does the offense look the same 5 straight years with different coordinators? When are people going to look at the head coach? I've been a fan. Tomlin, but this is ridiculous. Listen, let me qualify this right now and say critique of Tomlin is okay. It's fair. I don't care what how anybody feels about a coach, player, owner, or otherwise. I don't care. It's your opinion. I have mine. Others in the chat has theirs. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, I just don't listen to speculation. I don't listen to speculation talk. When us as fans speak things as if it's fact, we don't know. So that's just how I live. So it's almost like I've played more in the like mind category. Even people with like minds can have disagreements. Cool. It's just when we start saying, oh, this guy, this is all he does, da 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 da, and we trying to act like we know for a fact, that's the stuff I don't talk about. But we can, debate or have dialogue about the coach all day long. It's just when we go into these absolutes, I'm not going to comment on it. Because you don't know. Nor do I. Lawrence Holcomb says, I noticed that Wilson was flying on defense. Yeah, he was. Also notice how much Pruitt played at tight end instead of Connor Hayward. Also, we were underdogs. We were definitely underdogs today. Kenya says Trice is going to be, Kenyon has said this many times for you guys that don't know. Trice will be a starter in 2025. But more likely will be him and JPJ. What else? Give me a few more and then we'll get out of here, guys. MT says, maybe I'm overreacting, but I'm just tired of this offense looking to still the same. We all have said that. We with you, MT. We with you. I'm just not going to comment on the factual speculation, if that's even a thing. That's all I'm saying. It's not a disrespect or shot to you. I'm just saying that any of y'all that do that, don't expect me to reply to it. Because when we start talking like that, we don't know what we're talking about. Wave Day says Bishop looked like he belonged out there. Made a couple plays, made a good tackle on a third down that kept them from getting a first down. Sure did. Randy Wagner says, I never thought we were going to win this game. Believe me that our coaching staff's perseverance and game plan outmatched the Falcons. Celebrate win today. And y'all heard me talking about that in the pregame. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know how good I feel about going into this game. I would not have been surprised if we would have lost it. I just remember Victory Asher, give him credit, on Tuesday night. He called in and he said he felt like we would dominate the line of scrimmage. He was right. He was right. Brian Hawkins says, Patrick Queen got to step up. He was looking kind of rusty with some missed tackles. Yeah, he did miss a couple. I definitely saw him miss one early in the game, like on that left sideline. Smitty says, what do you think of Kendrick Lamar performing at the Super Bowl? Well, I'm a Kendrick fan, so that's dope. More than that, I think it's dope for hip hop again. This would be kind of the second time around. I think that performance is going to be crazy. I'll leave it at that. And if anybody knows Kendrick and the bag that he likes to get in and how theatrical he is and thought-provoking, and that performance is going to be crazy. It might be something we've never seen before as far as his mindset. Just think about, and I'll get off of this really quick. Think about that time when he performed, I think it was the Grammys, one of those shows, and he came out in the prison gear, and when he performed We Gonna Be All Right, and that visual, Kendrick is different, bro. So I think that performance will be insane. What else they got? What else y'all got? McEldew says offense issues was play calling, receivers blocking, QB decision making, refs. Round of applause. That's what I saw early. So I cannot wait to see this all 22. Some of it definitely was play calling, man. And that's what I'm saying. Of course, we got to put things on the head coach's head. But again, guys, a head coach doesn't take over the game entirely. You even saw in some of the huddles where he came over there and he was talking to both Smith and Fields. So I support most head coaches in the NFL where they get too much credit when they win and too much blame when they lose. I don't think it's always the head coach. I really don't. I just don't think that. John Harbaugh. I think John Harbaugh, I'll talk about Thursday's game now. It was unfortunate how they lost, but there was a time in that game, and it might have been in the fourth quarter, where he went for it on a 4th and 3, and I'm like, why does he do that? John Harbaugh goes for it a lot on 4th down, but I guess when you got Lamar back there, you're confident that you're going to get it, but there's been several times, if you pay attention, that it's hurt them, and that's just a philosophy of his. He's just going to go for it. But does that make him a bad coach? Is that the sole reason why they lost the game? No. You know what I mean? That game came down to this. Likely's foot just grazing that back line of the end zone. Master of Music says Queen was getting sucked into the blocks a little too much. Love Kendrick Lamar. He's like one of the last real ones. Yeah. CT Pittman says, but Bishop can't let Pitts run past him that close to the end zone and just let him beat it. Yeah, the replay didn't serve Bishop well. Like he looked like he was just standing in no man's land. That's why I want to see the overhead view and see what did we call there? What was the coverage? Where were the safeties? What was we in? That was some type of zone, clearly, but what were we running? Because you're right, you have to use down and distance, man, to close zones sometimes. You have to. You got to know that end zone is behind you. What else y'all got? I'm going to read a couple more and then I'm out of here. MT says, I need to start watching the Chiefs because they got me holding offenses to a higher standard. That could be. But we are not wrong. None of us are wrong by saying this offense, we want to see more. You see the title of my video. I don't like what I saw from this offense from a schematic standpoint early so far. But I'm taking into consideration this is new. We have a new center. We have a new left guard who had to play in Anderson, a new starter, period, whether it's Russell or Justin Fields, a new coordinator. But even with that, I'm keeping one eye open like, I don't kind of like our approach so far. You know, it's a fair criticism, guys, because I feel like in order for our Steelers really to take a step, win a playoff game, we're going to need more offense than that. I think the Steelers need to score at least 24 points a game. At least. 20 to 24. We need to at least score 2 touchdowns. At least. That's the bare minimum. At least 2 touchdowns, 2 or 3 field goals. At the very least. Donation. Hold on. Round of applause to C.T. Pittman. He says, what's up, off topic? What's up with Texas State? Haven't seen a video in a minute. He's talking about me streaming College Football 25. Well, I should be streaming again soon, man. I've just been so busy, still playing. I'm in season 2029 because remember I had to sim ahead and all of that. But I'll give you this. I may be going away from them because I want to be a head coach, and I haven't gotten any offers at all as the DC for Texas State. And every season we've won. I'm either 8-4, 9-3, whatever. All them straight winning seasons, and I have got 0 offers. And I'm like, dog, how long am I going to be sitting here? So I'm thinking about throwing this out here. You might see me start a new dynasty with Virginia Tech. Reason being, my younger cousin plays for them. And he's actually in the game. So it'll be cool, man, to put him on defense. And so I might be starting over with Virginia Tech. So stay tuned. Just a couple more. What's up, Debbie? She says, hey, Sim, I am well, working like crazy. Yeah, covering for my manager till October and traveling again at the end of the month. Man, Debbie, so good to see you. Glad to hear from you. Get that money and be safe. What else we got? Yeah, we are, Twan, at wide receiver. But again, man, looking at that's why I'm saying what I'm saying about the scheme. I kind of see where that's not going to be the focus, and I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like just throwing it up to George Pickens, even though George Pickens was, I keep telling y'all, this dude is a generational talent, man. This guy is incredible. If we could just give him the football. Lawrence Holcomb says, Sim, the Steelers did show confidence in Fields right before halftime. Last year, they would have taken a knee. We got a big 3 points. That gave me hopes for our season. That is a good point, Lawrence. And also, let me say this about Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin. Were you guys surprised to see that we didn't just kneel it out after the 2 minute? And just kneel, kick the field goal? Because the same result could have happened. How surprised were you all about that? That shocked me. And I will give credit to Mike T and Arthur Smith in that regard because I'm always saying we're too conservative. I'm saying it today. That shocked me. So there could be some light at the end of the tunnel, man. This is just knee-jerk reaction. I'm going to rewatch this game. I'll probably rewatch it tonight and then watch it again when the All-22 comes out so I can really have a good picture of what I want to talk about on Tuesday. Last one. Randy Wagner says, we thank you for what you bring to us, brother. Appreciate chat. Appreciate all of y'all here. Way to go, Steelers. I appreciate you as well, man. I really do. Y'all make it so worth it. You know, y'all really do, man. Y'all make this engine go. I appreciate all the donations, all the support, all the views. All I need y'all to do before we go, like and share. Like and share. Those are the 2 most important things you can do for me and this show. Like button, share on your socials. Post it. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Facebook. Share it on TikTok, wherever you are. Like and share. And that's it. But all right, guys, I'll be back to you guys on Tuesday. At that point, right here for the new people. You'll be able to call into the show. Area 619-924-0818. I repeat, area 619-924-0818. That's when you can call in and let me know anything you have to say about them Steelers, good, bad, or indifferent. And I'll see you guys Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And hey, we got to win. We want to know. All right? All right, man. So like always, you guys, make sure you stay safe. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of football this weekend. Stay healthy. God bless. Good night. And like I always say, thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of the Steelers Knee-Jerk Reaction, Week 1 of the 2024 season. Catch you in the next one. Peace.